Hello, this is Hal Ruth, and it's time for another Equalizer 9 tip of the week. What we're going to talk about this week is business development or sales meetings. I hear from a lot of my clients and others out there that they have ineffective or horrible BD or sales meetings. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can make those business development or sales meetings more effective. You see what most construction companies do, and this is who I work with, but I think it goes across all companies. Most companies, their sales and business development meetings are reporting meetings. And what I mean by reporting meetings is everyone gets in a room, you get in a room with a big group, and they go one by one around the room, and everyone has to tell everyone else what they did last week and what they're going to do this week. And really all it is people justifying their existence to one another. And we're accomplishing nothing except draining the absolute soul out of people. It is actually just pulling the soul and the life and the joy out of human beings. That's all it's doing. So what I want to talk to you about is how do we make these sales meetings actually productive and effective? So first of all, when you have a sales meeting, don't get a giant group of people in the room. Have the meeting within its own business unit, within each profit center, so that it can be very effective. Number two, make the meeting short, no more than 1 hour. And I mean, when it hits that hour, you have to be finished, done. Otherwise, people are going to hate these meetings, and then they're not going to be productive. The next thing you need to do, number three, is you need to identify what problem you're trying to solve to figure out what type of business development meeting you're going to have. For example, if your pipeline is unhealthy, and we'll talk about in future Equalizer 9 tips of the week how you know if your pipeline is unhealthy. But if your pipeline is unhealthy, you need to dig into prospecting with your team and talk about how are we going to find new opportunities to fill the pipeline. Now, one thing you probably heard me talk about if you've listened to me in the past is what I call the Bs. And the Bs are those organizations or people that know about opportunities within our world very, very early. So in construction, our Bs are architects, civil engineers, land planners, bankers, geotech scientists, real estate attorneys, commercial real estate brokers, corporate furniture vendors. These are Bs. Identify the Bs within the sectors that you're trying to focus on, and then get busy out there networking with them, asking them what they know about in our world. So that's one business development meeting. You go around the room and say, who are our Bs? Let's identify them. Let's divide and conquer, and let's go get them. And then the next business development meeting, hey guys, did we learn anything? Hey, did we learn anything from so-and-so? Have we hit so-and-so? Have we talked to them? Let's find out what they know about. So that's one type of business development meeting. The next type of business development meeting is if our pipeline is perfectly healthy, we don't need to have that kind of meeting, the prospecting meeting. Maybe instead our win rate is low. That's the problem we're trying to solve. We know about plenty of things, we just never win. So in that case, we're going to talk about what we're doing to move probability in the favor of us winning. So we might say, well, let's look at our top 2 early game projects. And early game, if y'all have ever listened to me, those are those projects that are way out on a decision basis. What are we doing on those 2 to move the probability in our favor? What actions are we taking to be proactive? And you dig in and you brainstorm as a group. Then you may say, what are our two best opportunities in middle game? Middle game being are the things that are going to come to a decision maybe in those next within 6 months. And we say, let's talk about what we're doing in those to move the probability in the favor of us winning. So that's that's one other type of business development meeting. The third type of business development meeting might be something like this, where we have one big must-win project and we want to win it. And we'll get in a room with the team and we'll say, what are the key issues of this project? How are we going to solve them? How are we going to message to the client that we're going to solve them? What will be the benefit to the client if we do solve them? And then what are our proofs and stats and quotes and case studies that show we've done it before? And so we'll come up with that, and that becomes our win strategy that we will present in our proposal, that we'll go out and talk to them, that we'll present in a presentation. So have a very detailed hour-long business development sales meeting on one opportunity that you're trying to win. So now notice what all these meetings have in common. These meetings are not about getting in a room and making people feel bad about themselves or to give them an awful test. I used to have a boss one time that every time we go in a meeting, I felt like I was taking a test. I dreaded the meeting, I hated the meetings, and it was not effective. It helped no one but make him feel good about himself for putting the thumb down on everybody in the room. Instead of it being a test, it needs to be a team brainstorm on how we're going to improve in wherever we're deficient. So I hope that helps you guys to rethink your BD and sales meetings. If I can ever help, give me a call or email me. And by the way, please like and subscribe if you're listening to me on YouTube. If you're listening to me on LinkedIn, please like and give me a comment, because you guys know how these algorithms work. This is how I get the word out. All right. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it, and look for your tip of the week next week again. Thanks. Bye-bye.